But first, we got to talk about Kendrick Lamar. And earlier, you guys thought his middle name was Duckworth. I got to say that. But his last name is Duckworth.
Kendrick Duckworth Lamar. Kendrick Lamar
Kendrick
Duckworth.
Lamar Duckworth.
Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. He dropped a new untitled record a few recently, I'll say. And it's really shaken up the industry, I feel like. Of course, the beef between him and Drake it will still never die. And somehow, some way, people are making the Drake debacle and battle a part of this new discussion. But we're going to talk about this record, man, because a lot of people love it. Some people hate it. I'm seeing mixed reviews. And so, LC, because you're our esteemed guest, I got to kick this over to you first.
Okay.
Do you believe the new song from Kendrick Lamar is amazing or is it boring? What do you think?
I'm not going to classify it as amazing. I'm not going to classify it as boring because I don't even feel like it was intended to be judged that way. Firstly, like, it's untitled. Like, there's no title. It's randomly dropped on Instagram. Like, that was the only platform I think it was dropped on. I don't know if Kendrick dropped it on YouTube, but I think it was mostly Instagram. So it's just clear that this dropped from, I just have something to say and I'm going to put it out, you know? And that was what it was. And people heard it for what it was. And people started theorizing, but people listened. And I think that was just the point. Whether it's not something that I think Kendrick intended for us to be bumping in our cars. So I wouldn't even call it amazing or boring. I just feel like it did its job, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean,
to add to what Elsie said, even the artwork is like black Air Force Ones.
Black Air
like
Force.
the same Air Force Ones I used to wear when I work at CVS. So lately, people have been calling, I guess the Drake fans who now have to hate Kendrick, which is a whole nother thing, right? I've never seen you don't go on Twitter and see people say I like both Kendrick and Drake. No, you have to like.
Everyone's
like
kind of
one.
trying to pick a side.
You know what I mean? Everyone's picking a side. So for the Drake fans, one of the things that they're calling out about Kendrick is his music being boring. And so one of the things I said on Twitter about this new song is that calling it boring is a lazy take and it's irresponsible. Like Elsie said, the point to me, which it came out after the Super Bowl announcement, by the way. But the point to me was to just, get his thoughts out there on everything that's going on. Because Kendrick is not going to go on Twitter.
Nah.
Kendrick is not going to go on Instagram, do an Instagram live. Kendrick,
nothing.
He's not even barely going to do an interview.
Barely.
You know what I mean?
No,
exactly.
He's
like
not
he will
gonna
not
do an interview.
Nothing, bro.
This is his way of. I think this is his way of saying, I see all the things people are saying on Twitter. I see all the things, I see everything. Drake has already sneak dissed him 15 times, and so he's pretty much telling the people like, yo, like this is an update on how I feel.
For sure.
And in that case, in a sense, you almost don't judge it as a song you heard. You judge it as like an entry in Kendrick's diary that he let you, listen to. So, but I mean, at the same time, to play devil's advocate, is it enjoyable? I mean, is the hook something that would you hear it?
But that's the thing, and that's kind of what I was talking about, like the
There we
purpose
go.
for it, because like it's not in all the traditional sense of the word. It's not an enjoyable song. Like it's not a song I'm gonna bump, and enjoy. Very few artists, actually, Kendrick is one of those artists that can give you a hit, and make you pay attention to the lyrics, like not like us, like. We know he's capable of doing that. We know he's capable of doing that. But I just think that I feel like this is one of those songs where you listen, you get what you want to get from it, and that's it. Like I don't even think it needs to be revisited past a few times of listening to getting what you want to say. So I don't think boring is the right I don't think it's just a valid for this song particularly.
I'll say this though. Exactly. I agree with both of y'all. I do. And I'll say this real quick. Can we just all acknowledge that we have been bored by certain music? Like it's okay to call something boring. Like boring is a real adjective that you should be able to apply to something that you deem as boring. Like,
Yeah,
you get what I mean?
But to me,
I just want to. I'm not saying that you guys think the song's boring. I'm just saying if somebody wants to call something boring, it's not a.
But I have gripes
just have to
with
say
that. I have some gripes with that because it's okay to call something boring, but you gotta tell me why you think it's boring. Because I feel like a lot of people
that's where I was
use
going.
those one-liners to like escape from actually describing the music. Oh, it's trash. Oh, it's boring. Like, let's know why you think it's boring. Is it the production? Is it his rhyme scheme? You know, let us know.
There we go.
Exactly.
And I'm glad you pointed that out. So, because that's where I was going next, right? Because I'm okay with somebody calling something boring or trash, but you got to tell me why, like straight up. And so I'm glad you pointed that out. The second thing I'll say is, yo, Kendrick is him. Bro, like everything from the imagery of the artwork. Like, do you guys know what black Air Force Ones are symbolic of? Like, it ain't going to work to CVS. It's people sliding. All right? Like, people is like it's violence. Like, it's extreme violence, right?
Yeah.
Like there's Air Force Ones been through shit, but seriously though. So you look at the artwork and then you match it with the lyricism. I just feel like Kendrick has become a spokesperson for rap. I'm talking about a true one, like a real true one. And I said this on Twitter because when I first heard the song, I said, yo, this is like a State of a Union address. Like this is, it sounded like someone at a podium and everyone in the crowd's just like, all right, what is he saying next?
That's
how does Kendrick think? You know what I'm saying? Yep. And I will say, that, of course, as always, you're going to see people in the crowd looking at the person at the podium hating, right? And there's going to be people in the crowd who are supporters, right? I just like the fact that he's bringing purpose back. I feel like he's trying to implement this next level of, I think, intentionality when it comes to like even who's being highlighted in the music. I mean, you look at him highlighting Lecrae. I thought that was fire, right? He highlighted D1.
Right.
I mean, D1 has been talking for the last 1 year, going viral every day, and people have been telling him to shut up because he's anti this culture. He's telling everybody what is wrong with the culture. But they don't want to listen to D1. But as soon as Kendrick says it and backs him, now D1, we always believe in D1. He's been preaching it. D1 been speaking the truth.
Isn't that how it goes?
I do. And so with that being said, I just like the fact that Kendrick stands for something, man. And you know, we need more of that. We do. We need more of that.
Actually,
and so to answer
that's a keyword.
What's that?
That's a keyword, like the fact that he stands for something. I think that's a key word. Yeah.
We need more people to stand for something. Like you think about all these artists, what do they stand for, bro? In their music? Like honestly, like truly.
Well, let me stop this Kendrick love fest real quick.
Okay? Talk to me. Real quick. Oh, by the way, sorry. Real quick, before you do that, I'm never gonna play this song again. With all that being said,
I see. I get you.
I like it though, but I'm never gonna play it again.
At the end of the day, one thing that I noticed about the song was I found myself saying, who is he talking about? Over and over again. This is the same guy that said, if I'm going to diss, it's going to be direct,
yes,
right?
He did.
And so I saw a little couple shots here at, Drake, what could be
But that's the thing. I feel like a lot of, and this is my issue. This is why I don't want Kendrick to drop a new album at least for the next 6 months. And everyone thinks it's kind of crazy, but I don't want that. Because I just feel like anything he drops within this period of time, let's just say this year, it's going to be looked at through the lens of a beef.
Yeah. That's
like
perfect.
And I think it's very clear when he came out in the Super Bowl announcement video and was like, you only get one chance to win a championship, no round twos. So it's clear that he's just like, you know what? I won. Let's get over it, guys. Whatever. On to the next step. But I feel like anything he's dropping, everyone keeps looking at it through the lens of like Drake. But it's bigger than Drake. Like what Kendrick is talking about is really just a critique on the industry. And I feel like just reducing it to, he's dissing is just like I feel like it's a very shallow way to look at it because I feel like he's doing more than just sneak dissing. Like I feel like it's just more of this is what I think about what's going on right now in culture overall, not necessarily just like dissing Drake.
I'm with you. It's a very complex. But hold on, he did bleep out some stuff in that song.
Oh, did he?
Yes. Did y'all hear? Did y'all call
Oh
that?
yeah,
Right?
he blipped. Yeah. There's a part he blipped. I don't know what he said. Then,
What did he say? Is the
must
question
have
mark
been
that a lot of people on Twitter is trying to figure out.
It must have been very terrible for him to bleep it out like that. Like,
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a half-second bleep. It was like 2
it
seconds
was like
long, like
3 seconds.
2-3 seconds.
Like,
Yeah.
Really? Dang,
That's why I'm
I
surprised you
missed
didn't hear that. Like,
I missed that part.
yeah.
But I guess just to close the topic out,
Sure.
Kendrick, we did mention, he's going to be performing at the Super Bowl. How do you like this choice for a Super Bowl performer?
it makes sense to me. Like, it makes sense to me. I know a lot of people have their gripes with it, and like some critique I've seen it's valid. Let's just say it, but like, just from someone that's not even a fan, let's just assume like I'm just from the outside looking in. Like, he's had an incredible year, and he's had the audience at the tip of his fingers. Like, Kendrick drops and everyone is running. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Everyone wants to hear what he says. Like, he has his pulse on culture right now, especially with the Pop-Out show. And because it was like, it was televised, everyone saw like, bro, he could put on an electric performance. So I think it just makes sense. Like, if you're looking for someone to perform a hip hop artist right now, he's the obvious choice to me. Like, he's just the obvious choice. So I feel like everyone looking at it from, oh, this person deserves it or not. Like, how many rappers? Like, he's gonna be the first ever rapper to headline that show ever. Like, just a solo headline.
That is true.
That's a big deal.
That is true.
It's true.
That's a
huge
big deal. Like, it's never been done before. Rappers have always had to click together to just hold the stage. So to me, it's an obvious choice. Like,
I love the choice. Personally, I love the choice. A lot of people were mad about the whole Wayne alleged snub, which is weird because it's like, at what point was that a real thing to where it would be called a snub? But I digress. Like, I just have a problem with the word snub, and I have a problem with the way Wayne addressed it. But I'm gonna sidestep that. All right, we're gonna put that aside.
Yeah.
Listen to the full episode, link below.